you so much for the raid. Nyx and friends are here for the party. Heck yeah. We're just getting started. Cheshire Pope, hello. How's it going? X Firefly9X, hello. Sismita Skeeter, did I say that right? Welcome in. Got a raid and dash away. Need to take Will-O-Wisp for a walk. Got you up and lurk while I'm out. Nyx, appreciate the heck out of you. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Enjoy the walk. It is rainy here today, so I hope it is nicer weather for you guys. I was excited to raid on a starting screen. Heck yeah! I was just grabbing my coffee here in my Ursula mug. Cheshire Pope, it's good to see you. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you have a fabulous day. Gotta scroll up and greet everybody. Blur here with first. Pie, very close to first. Go to bed. I don't have Joe's permission to sleep all day the way you did. Did you go to work, Pie? Did you use the note that we gave you for your boss? Ghost Pepper with 44 months and 22 years or something of marriage. Is it 22 now? I guess technically it is, right? Wow. Ghost, thank you. Rai's here as well. Terran's here. Catch Carter now. Redeemed. Intense love. Catch Carter now. I love you, you dumb bitch. Welcome in, everybody. We are here. Pie on a streak of 50. There's a 0 after that, Pie. It's not 5, it's 50. Amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out as often as you do and keeping us hydrated. I did go to work. Boo, but I understand why. Gonna save the note for another day. Good thinking. I did not put a date on it. That's true. Good job, Pie. Right here with the 5-stream streak as well. Lego, I assume. Rai's Ego. Wow, I've dated myself. Welcome in, you guys. We are chatting today. We didn't get a chance to chat yesterday because, as I mentioned, in case you guys forgot or didn't hear, before the vacation, we're going to be doing some lobby-style streams for mostly the month of July and then probably the first week of August. And basically, it's just because I'm doing a late pass edit. I'm working on editing the 4th Aravalia trilogy after receiving it back from my beta readers. Which reminds me, I gotta shoot Woof a quick message. He did tell me to remind him, and I forgot! So now I've remembered to remind him. Basically, I'm working my way through late pass edit, post beta reader feedbacks, and I go through these pretty quickly. So when I'm doing edits for a first draft to second draft, like polishing it up pre-beta readers, it takes me about the same amount of time to edit a scene as it does to write a scene. So I'm doing about the same amount of work in my editing phase, and it takes about the same amount of time as it does for the writing phase. But once I get things back from my beta readers, the book is a lot more polished. It doesn't need quite as much. It's a lot easier to target the problem areas. Sardonisms, hello, my friend. How's it going? Muted because I'm in meeting, but here to say hi. So because it doesn't need quite as much attention, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but because there are certain targeted areas that need attention versus the whole thing needing attention, I go through it a lot more quickly. So whereas I will do essentially 1 or 1.5 scenes per work slot normally, during a late pass edit, I do 4 scenes in that amount of time. So I did 8 scenes yesterday. So it's a pretty rapid fire edit. And it's not like I am still digging down into the deep spaces, and I am still making sure that everything is going the way I want it to. Yesterday I did add a couple of things. There was a scene where I felt Domerin's emotional, like his emotions were really showing through on the page very well. He was coming off a bit colder than I wanted him to, so I made some adjustments to the internal monologue, to the thought process. Taryn's here! Oh yeah, we did not let me do... There's a backlog of shout-outs. We forgot to shout out Nyx. Let's shout out Nyx Flare, and then as soon as the cooldown wears off, Taryn, I will shout you out as well. Taryn and Raiders, welcome in. Taryn, how was your stream? Rawr words. Shy Revenge, hello. It's going, I'm a little stuck in writing and I'm falling behind my goal. No, sardonisms. We'll talk about it when you get out of your meeting. Taryn, how's it going? Good to see you. So yeah, I do the lobby style streams because I move through those edits at a certain pace, and I don't use a timer. It's one of the few tasks for which I don't really do a timer for myself. I'm not really keeping to a certain amount of time. I'm pausing at the end of each scene versus working for half an hour, taking a break, working for half an hour, taking a break. And so last year, I had been saying that I didn't know if I would stream those edits at all, especially because last year I was doing out loud for the late pass. I've kind of switched the order that I do my out loud now, so I don't necessarily need to do this one out loud. But you guys were like, hey, even if you just got a timer up and you're hanging out with us in chat, we appreciate that. So we're bringing that back this year. We're going to do 2 lobby style streams per week and 1 chatty style stream per week. Next week might be a little wishy-washy because I'm going to have lady stuff to deal with. So I don't know. We probably won't get a chatty stream in next week. We definitely won't get a chatty stream in next week, and we might not get a lobby stream in, but I'll try to get at least 1 lobby stream in there since I just got back from being on hiatus. So yeah, so if you pop by and you don't see me on camera and you don't hear me chitty-chatting, it's just because it's a lobby-style stream. We're just going to have those until the first week in August, and by then I'll be wrapped up with that edit. Did Bob send me his thing? Hang on. He didn't. Okay. Sorry. I'm just losing my mind slightly. A tiny little bit. It's fine. It's all good here. We're all good. So yeah, if you pop in and you see us not being chatty, that's just for this month and the first week of August. And then we will be starting Ghost Path. So we'll be back to regular streams. There'll be lots more clicky-clackies in the second half of the year because I'm going to be doing majority writing things. But there you go. And I think the cooldown should have ended, so let's shout out Taryn. Heck yeah, be sure to follow both Nyx and Taryn, both super chill, super cool members of the community. Different vibes, but love both. So be sure to hang out, and both of them usually start before I do. So if you need somewhere to chillax while you're waiting for me to get my shit together and come around, definitely both worth checking out and chilling out with. Starting to play catch up on homeschooling for kiddos. Shy Revenge, good luck. I know just enough about homeschooling to know that it's a lot. There's a lot of resources to go through, and you know, there's a lot to teach your kids, especially if you're in charge of it all. So good luck. Gotta run. There was an emergency. No, and I need to get my mom to watch her kiddo while they handle all the things. Might take a full-on break and do some swimming. Good luck, Taryn. I'm so sorry to hear that there was emergency. I'm glad everyone's okay. You've probably gone by now, but send in all the good vibes. Imagine just hanging out. Pie, I love you. Welcome back, Blur. How is it going? So that catches you guys up on what's going on the channel. What's going on with me? We had Ghost Pepper's family here last week. So Mama Pepper, Papa Pepper, and Brother Pepper were all here. And we were taking them around town. We did tons of cool things. We got a hydrate. I should wait. We've got more than one hydrate coming in from Pi. We gotta see how many he stacks before we start chugging. I remembered this last night. My one shot is actually going to be streamed. Oh, nice! My boyfriend is going to be streaming it. I'll send out a notification on the Discord. Please do. I don't know if I'll be around to see it live, but would love to catch the VOD if I don't catch it live. Poot is here. Poot, how's it going, my friend? I know you could stack a lot, Pi. I just want you to be happy. That's what makes me happy. Although if you stack like 10, you know I'm gonna break them up because I'm not gonna chug my coffee. Because then we won't get any work done today. Let's do 2 hydrates and a poot drate. 1, 2, and a 3. 3 licks to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. Kiddo is asking for music, like to learn about or just to have in the background. My God, Pi. I would die. I would have to make more coffee. I would have to chug, like, the entire pitcher of water. That would be insane. But we love you. We love that you have that power in your hands and that you use it responsibly. There'll be a video as well since I'm going to be recording on my side. Heck yeah! Well, I will definitely check it out if I'm able to live, and if not, I will check out the video when the video is ready. I just hope you have a fabulous time. D&D is so fun, and if I may offer just a tiny bit of unsolicited advice, because I know what it's like to GM for the first time and be super nervous. My advice is just have fun. If you're having fun, your players are going to have fun. Don't worry about messing up the rules or getting things mixed up or if things don't go exactly the way you planned, because as soon as you get in there, your players are going to have thoughts and feelings and actions that are going to create total chaos. So just have fun. If you make sure that your players are having fun and you make sure that you're having fun, that's it. That's the whole job of a GM, is just to have fun. It doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter how many of them you forget or how much stuff you have to look up, or if you just say, fuck it, I don't remember that rule, we're going to go with this. As long as you guys are having fun, that's what matters. So if you start to feel nervous in the lead up, just remember, have fun. That's your only job. Exactly what I was thinking. Prioritize having fun. Hell yes. There's so much more to track as a GM, and it's something you pick up over time. 100%. And I think, too, I know for my early D&D campaigns, I overplanned a lot because I thought that I had to have an exact amount of information for, like, every possible outcome. And like just this whole if-then loop in my brain about like how to handle this situation and how to handle that situation. Over time, you kind of learn how much you as a GM need in order to feel comfortable with leading something. So that is a thing that kind of comes with time, but you almost certainly don't need as much as you think you do, especially because I remember we used to play regularly with a group of people, and sometimes we would rotate GMs. So people would write little adventures so that the main GM could like kind of take a break and play for a while. And I did a sort of little one-shot that was based around this big, giant tree that they were going down into the root system to look for something. And I was like, no one's going to care about the tree. I'm just making this nice little ecosystem. Flutter's character instantly was like, I want to talk to this tree. And I was like, oh God. Oh God. I didn't plan for this. I thought that they would ignore the tree. I thought that it wasn't going to be a thing. So I had to wing it. I had to improv, like, I had in my brain stored away, like, a basic amount of information about the world that they were in and the tree and how it fit into everything. So I just winged it. I just improv'd like half a session, and they loved it. Everybody loved it. Everybody had a blast. They had a super great time. And they didn't know until afterwards that I was like, yeah, fully a third of that was improvised. Or possibly more. So, you know, you kind of learn on the go, and you kind of learn how much you think that you're going to need to handle what your players are going to throw at you. And the rest is just whatever feels good in the moment. Just carried 4 boxes totaling 100 hardcovers to the attic. Oh my goodness, Cheshire Pope. Take a break, drink some water. That is a fuck ton of hardcovers. In 4 boxes. I hope you had someone helping you lift those. That is heavy. As someone who has a lot of books to move whenever we switch houses, that is a lot. My favorite tabletop moments are entirely the group did something I didn't plan for and it became an entirely improvised moment. Exactly. And it's funny because that's like, it's going to be fully organic and it's going to lead to something that you guys are just going to talk and laugh about forever. This is my first time DMing, so I'm really excited yet nervous. I do have an outline to go by, but I'm not going to be sticking to it too much. You got this, Blur. I am so confident that you're going to have a blast. Sardonisms, welcome in. How was the meeting? Glances at all the mismatched bookcases in my office. I usually pack small boxes for my books just because they're so heavy. Did a loosely planned Stranger Things inspired short campaign that everyone involved is chomping at the bit to finish. I'm waiting for the series finale before I end it. Oh, Poot, that sounds awesome. All me? Oh, Cheshire Pope. Take a minute for yourself, man. That's a lot of lifting for one person. DMing is 1 part planning to 4 parts improv. Yeah, possibly. It depends on how chaotic your players are. But the ratio is there's definitely going to be improv in there. It's impossible to avoid. If you pick the right system, it's all improv. One of my friends does Cards Against Humanity dungeons where as they go, she'll draw cards and build the dungeon as they go based off the... How does that work? I'm very curious about that. I'm so curious how the cards translate into a dungeon. That sounds amazing. It was just our normal daily meeting, but pushed back to afternoon because Boss Lady had meetings all day. I see. Well, it's over now. You're ours. They can't have you anymore. My players are super chaotic. Yeah, so just be ready. Just be ready to make some shit up, and you'll be fine. Is it like the card... Because I've played a decent amount of Cards Against Humanity. Is it like the card spawns the monsters? Or is it also like... It defines like the rooms and stuff too? I run Die, which is 90% improv, and the players... run a lot of the story. That sounds awesome. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. But I do like systems that lean into narrative heavy stuff because it's my favorite part is storytelling. I do have to make 1 call, but I'll do that when the first sprint starts. Heck yeah, we should be doing that very shortly. Starting around 9:30 p.m. EST. So that'll be 6:30 here. So that'll be pretty close to when I get ready to stream with Woof, but I will do my best to stop by. If we have finished eating, I will do my best to stop by. Die is very meta. The premise is the players are playing players who got yeeted into the game world. Oh, interesting. So everyone has two characters, the persona and the paragon, the earth human and the game character. Oh, that sounds like it would be so fun though. I love layered situations like that. And I love portal stories because I write them. So a little bit of both. I'm not sure about her exact process, but the cards impact everything, including rooms, items, and NPCs. Oh man, that sounds like it would be amazing. I would love to know how she does that, because that sounds so cool. The GM is a character too! Oh, that's awesome! So the GM gets to play as well. There's always the VOD. Yeah, exactly. And you definitely post the hell out of that blur. Spread it everywhere so people know that you're running your first session. I don't know what our timing is going to be for food this Saturday, but I will do my best to say hey if I can. Because it's awesome. I think it's awesome. And doing your first stint as a GM on camera, too, is going to be... I mean, I got to do all of my GM learning offline, so I'm sure that adds an extra layer. Oh, it's tonight. I thought you said Saturday. Hang on. Where did I get Saturday from? Where did I get Saturday from? I should be able to drop by at some point tonight, Blur, for sure. I'll be late, but I'll drop by. I don't know why my brain was just like, yes, Blur is talking about Saturday, even though I don't think you said a day. Wow. Challenge myself to make my persona one who emotes a lot and moves around a lot, because I do descriptive hand gestures but not dramatic or emotive hand gestures. Players have not yet found out why she was so desperate to throw them into a game world without telling them. She thinks she's got nothing left on Earth, so dangerous adventure world can't be worse. Nice! Alright. The video will be coming out Saturday. Maybe that's where I got Saturday from. Who knows? My brain these days. We're gonna get set up, because today we're doing the thing that I'm sure you have all, in your deepest and wildest dreams, been greatly desiring to have happen for reasons unknown to me, but kind of understood. And that is, we're going to start writing the My Little Domerin fanfic. So, add new task. Write My Little Domerin episode 1, Act 1. That's it. That is our sole task for today's stream, is to do that. Now, I do know that they are putting out an update for this game tomorrow. So look forward to that. Maybe we'll be in space today. Maybe we'll be in space for a little while. Let's be in this space, because it's pretty. Because it's pretty. Save your work, everybody. Don't let your work get eaten. Let's see. What do we want to do today? What do we want to do today? I feel like I never streamed the knitting. I use the knitting activity a lot, but I almost never stream it. Who will knit with us? I wonder what the Cinna spider does. Oh, it just kind of hangs out. The campaign ends when every player either says the game is over or the game continues. Every player, including Zoe, who would literally rather die than end the game. Oh, so the rest of the players kind of have to convince her to let go of the game. We can hang out with our little trash Nuki. He'll actually knit with us. So there we go. Yesterday we did 4 sprints. Today we're gonna go back to 3. Hopefully I can get done in that time. I have a rough plan for what I want to do with this first. Basically, I'm dividing each episode into an Act 1 and an Act 2. So what we're going to be doing with Act 1 of the first episode is essentially establishing shots. So we're going to establish the status quo, we're going to introduce our main characters, we're going to show you the world that they live in, and this is going to establish for us all that they stand to lose if they fail at the challenge that's about to be thrown into their faces. So episode 1, Act 1. Excellent. And then I just need to, I've saved this file as per Pi's instructions. The file is saved, so that we can begin working with it. And I'm just gonna open my outline and my list of main characters. We've got Domerin Lore Hooves. Crescent. Sesha Natos. And we've got the Princess Rose Draftmore. Most of these names came from Woof. Be sure to throw him a thanks if you see him. And there might be some Sweet Pony cameos in this. Okay. All right. I think we're set up. I think we're ready to go. So I will, in a moment, take my usual quick cheeky break, and then we'll get moving. I thoroughly got the one-time bad girl from high school on my side. She's not leaving this world for love or money. Heck yeah. What happens? Can the game end if all the players die? Or if all the players' characters die and they don't end the game, does the game keep going? Do they get new characters? I'm so curious now. I'm sure you can do at least 10 sprints. Definitely not in one stream, Pi. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing today. Since I finished editing my video last night, I may do some art today. Last session was nuts with the one-on-one campaign that I'm in. It only lasted 30 minutes. What happened? Did you break your GM's soul? The theater nerd and the football star are having fun and figure they can always decide later. The poor teacher is the only one who still deeply wants to go home. And I think that's mostly because this world is dangerous. I identify with that. When people ask me, what fantasy world that you've read about do you want to go to? I'm like, none of them, because all of them will murder me. Probably in 10 minutes. And that includes the ones I've created. I would love to go to a world where I could meet Domerin. Unfortunately, he lives in a world where there are Godzilla-sized trees that go on the rampage sometime, and I don't want to take the risk that I would arrive during one of those times. The players have met some examples of what happens to them if they die. Uh-oh. That sounds ominous. On that note, I'm going to take a quick cheeky break. When I get back, we are going to start with our first sprint. Let me just adjust where that is sitting a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be very close to the edge for you guys. So yeah, when I get back, we're going to be chilling with these space fish, knitting and writing some My Little Domerin. So let's make this cursed thing happen. My dice broke my soul. My character died. I got one-shotted, then got hit while down, which was 2 failed death saves. When I got to my turn, a die rolled a nat 1. No, blur. My character can't die per se. She's immortal. She'll respawn a few days later, depending on how badly she was injured. Ah, so the GM needed time to figure out what happens to you, I assume. Proto-Matt, hello, how's it going? Pie, I'm always ready for hydrations. I just assume they're gonna happen at irregular intervals. But Sorry. Yawn. I'll hide it. Do not perceive. We are gonna get started writing this My Little Domerin fanfic. I tried to hide it so it wouldn't make everybody yawn. I'm sorry. Protomat, how's it going? What is up, my friend? I'm gonna get this timer going. I've kind of planned for what I want this story to seem like and how I want it to start. But let's be honest, it's probably one of the silliest things I've ever written, so who knows how it's actually gonna go. It was the Saturday before that. Last Saturday, my DM and I just chilled and played a game together. This Saturday, we start back up where we last left off. Well, good luck, Blur. I'm sorry to hear that you died, but I hope it goes well post-death. Tired, was working outside for an hour and a half. Gosh, Proto Matt, what's the temperature in your area? It has been super hot here. It was in the 30s, mid-30s yesterday. Although it is rainy today. I wonder if that has cooled it off at all. Let's check. Oh, it's only 23 with the high of 25 today. That's not terrible. That is 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. It's 30 already. Well, I hope that you have finished all of the stuff you need to do outside for the day, because that is hot. Be at a funeral. Sorry to hear you died. Somber nod. Alright, let's get these clicky clankies rolling. And Protomat, I hope you are chillaxing with a cold drink after working in that degrees. Amaya! Oh, Protomat, I hope you don't have to finish it all today, because that's going to be hard work in that kind of heat. He actually gave me 4 levels and said that has to do with what he has planned. Uh-oh. That's the most ominous giving of levels I've ever heard of. Oh, Maya, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I can just keep the same city names, because why would I change them? They're not horse puns, but, you know, not everything can be a horse pun. head to work. Maya, I hope you were able to get a ride, because I know you said that you had some trouble with your car the other day. And I hope it's a smooth work day, because I know you work way too much, Amaya. Gotta go to work. I'll send you a picture of what we're doing. Heck yeah, Proto-Matt. I'd love to see. Do you have to work outside all day, though? Just left her wedding ring? Uh-oh. Also, it was very sad because she died in her partner's arms. Oh no! She pushed him out of the way from getting hit pretty bad. Well, I mean, maybe it's for the best because it doesn't sound like her partner is immortal. Practicing for my CDL. Good luck, Proto-Matt. How did I spell lore hooves? Domerin hates me already. I'm like 100 words into this thing. The Tiger writes, welcome in. Hello, Raiders. How's it going? How was your stream today? We've just gotten started on our first sprint and a new fanfic that we're writing. Finished draft 2 of a book this morning. Wrote a chapter for another one the afternoon. Heck yeah! Well, congrats on finishing. A finished draft is always exciting. And if you need to do anything post-stream to take care of yourself, don't worry, we understand. I usually have to grab food when I finish up stream, but we're happy to have you. Editing Chapter 1 and realizing why one of the people who've read Chapter 1 felt their brain break. Uh-oh. This is just your first draft, though, right, Sardonisms? Like, you're going from draft 1 to 2? That does happen with early drafts. Peter, hello. How's it going? Congrats on almost convincing Joe that the plural of sheep is shoop. Sweaty and hot and warm and miserable. Oh no, Peter, what's the temperature like on your neck of the woods? A 7-stream streak. Peter, thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate the heck out of you. Only 17, but it feels like mid-20s. I mean, there's a lot of humidity where you are. FedEx didn't knock on the door when they attempted delivery on my new computer. So let me guess, they didn't leave it because it's expensive. So you have to chase them down now. Not the word that I thought it was. start, because unfamiliar territory here. But I think I'm starting to get into things. I have written 1,099 words so far. In this little, whatever we're calling it, fanfic. I do hope that I'll pick up speed a bit now that I've sort of gotten my bearings a bit on what I'm doing. I was hoping to write at least 3 scenes today, but depending on how far we get, it might end up being 2. But we shall see. Signature required, so they didn't leave it. I hate it when they don't ring the doorbell. Although, now I can always prove it because we have a doorbell cam now. At least they didn't take it to the wrong house. Good golly. Sardonisms, I hope that you are able to get them to swing back and actually knock at the door this time so that you know that they're here. In fairness, I didn't actually say that. I just said geese, goose, sheep, shoop. I can't be held guilty for this, and then I just didn't correct it. Hey, listen, I appreciate the hustle. My husband once tried to convince me that the haggis is a bird. So you know. And when I told him that you tried to convince Joe that the plural of sheep was shoop, he was like, you definitely should have backed him on that. And I was very tempted. After the number of times Joe has come in here and being like, have you eaten your muffin peel soup? I was like, yes, he deserves to think that the plural of sheep is shoop. But then my editor brain kicked in and I had to be honest. Gonna post this as a serial, so I'm not waiting for the ending before I start posting, thus editing chapter by chapter. Yeah, it's more that you should expect it to be rough because it's a first draft, eh? In the year 2025, why are doorbells still so jarring? I know, I hate it. I also don't answer my door very often, unless I'm expecting a package. I'm basically like, I don't want to speak to anybody. I don't want to be sold things. Don't ring my doorbell unless I expected you. Oh, dang, Proto-Mat. That looks like a big-ass job. I can smell that Ghost is cooking. I assume the curry for tonight's dinner, and I don't get to eat it until dinner time, and it smells so fucking good. It smells so fucking good right now. I'm gonna take a quick break to use the restroom and reheat my coffee because we have got a hydrate on the board for Blur. And when I get back, we can chat a bit more and get back into the fanfic. I've convinced actual Americans that Walmart is short for Walter Martin. What? In the story I tell, I'm like, Walter Martin started it as a small corner shop and Sam Walton bought it, like Ray Kroc at McDonald's, and when people realize that similarity, they're like, oh, that might be realistic actuality. Oh, Peter, you are an evil genius. Oh yeah, let me pause this timer, and we'll be right back. As I suspected, Ghost has cooked a delicious curry to put in the crock pot for us to consume this evening. Let's do a stretch. Peter, thank you for the welcome. Blur, my character's partner, is immortal, but only with age. He can still die from getting stabbed. She doesn't know that yet. Basically, a hero's feet move before their mind. Very true. It would have been it would have been bad if he got stabbed and didn't come back. We got a hydrate for Blur as well. And we're going to mash that save button. I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be so long that I'm going to need a third act for some of these chapters. We'll find out. Living the high life with curry. Listen, we like a good curry in this house. We kind of discovered that while we were in England. And Ghost Pepper likes to make a curry because for him it's quick and simple, and he can just simmer it until dinner time. I read your message, and I said it's probably better that he didn't get stabbed because he might not have come back. Don't really eat curry. Pie, what's your favorite comfort food? Is there any duck meat in the curry? No, it's chicken. Different kind of bird. You would need a lot of ducks in order to make a duck curry, though. There's not a lot of meat on duck, from what I understand. Each individual duck doesn't have a ton of meat to it. Just got off the phone with FedEx, going to pick it up after work. I don't trust their driver as far as I can throw him. It's probably for the best. Duck curry is delicious. I've actually never had duck curry. There's a place in town that does a really good fish curry and a really good lamb curry that I both really like. Did y'all forget that I was in Joe's chat last night? I know about the censoring. I know what you're really typing. I know what you want me to think. Ducks are also very greasy in my experience. You know, I think that duck is hard to cook. I've never had duck that I disliked, but I haven't eaten it very often. I've never tried to prepare it myself. And I've always had it in places that are slightly fancier, so I kind of trust that the chef knows what they're doing. We had duck for Christmas dinner one year, and it was so greasy and slimy. I could see how... That's why I wrote it. Also, my comfort food is... Oh, what is that? Can you send me... Pie, can you send me a like, picture or a link to a recipe so I know what that is? Having fancy duck? Yeah. Stuffed... Oh, is that like cabbage rolls? Because I love cabbage rolls. My mother-in-law makes those for Christmas, and she and I are the only people. I think it's like me and her and Ghost Brother. Or is it just me and her? There's not many people who like them, so we get to eat a lot of them. And I love it. It's so good. I think my grandmother used to call them blind robins, I think. Yes! Pie! Oh, good choice. I have had these. And I love them. Ghost's family is of Ukrainian descent. So they have a lot of traditions of eating stuffed cabbage and pierogies and all that kind of stuff. So we eat a lot of that stuff with them, and I love it. It's so good. I love that that's your comfort food, Pie. I didn't know that that's what their proper name was. I'm not going to try and say it because I'm going to murder that word. But, oh, those look so delicious. That's how my mother-in-law makes them, too, with a little bit of tomato sauce on top. So good. For anyone who's like, I don't like cabbage. You gotta have the stuffed cabbage rolls, man. They're so good. Thing is that she doesn't know she's immortal. She will after this upcoming session. Yeah, she's gonna know now. She just did that because she saw her loved one was gonna get hurt and she didn't want to see him get hurt. I mean, a good reason for a character to take action. If cabbage and sprouts had a which one smells most like farts competition, we'd all lose. Listen, some foods don't smell that great, but taste delicious. I feel that way about tomatoes. If I have a fresh tomato, I try not to, like, bring it close to my nose and smell it, because I hate the smell of fresh tomatoes. But they taste delicious. You eat it either with tomato sauce, ooh, or mushroom sauce. I've never had it with mushroom sauce. That sounds so good. I have so much to unpack for the reader here. I have too many game genres in the game to assume any reader will know what's going on. That's true. You should always explain anything that people might not be sure about. You should always explain. Packaged grated cheese smells like farts. That's true. Genuinely convinced someone farts in the bag. Nah, the cheese takes care of that. I also can't stand the smell of raw garlic. If, like, when it's not been peeled and stuff, it's fine. But once you peel a raw garlic and start cutting into it, the smell is, like, overwhelming. I love the taste of cooked garlic, but the smell of raw garlic is just, like, no. It's a no for me. Raw onion, I cannot eat. I cannot eat raw onion. It turns my stomach. I can eat cooked onion, though. Raw garlic is absolutely foul. Like, I don't mind the taste of it, but it took me years to loosen up to it. Yeah, I can handle eating raw garlic in very small amounts with the smell. Some people do like raw onion. Ghost pepper does. But for me, I can't. It's too acidic, I think, for my stomach. So if I eat... I don't necessarily dislike the taste. If I eat raw onion, though, my stomach acts up afterwards. So I've learned to just either cook my onion or to soak it. You can apparently soak it, and that takes some of the acidity out and makes it a little easier. Also, red onion is a little easier for me than white onion, because white onion is really punchy, but red onion is a little bit gentler. I can eat pickled onion. I can eat pickled onions, and I do love pickled onions until I turn into one. But if you give me any other kind of onion prepared in any other way, I will absolutely never eat it. I like caramelized onions. Oh, so delish. French onion soup. Oh, yeah. I'm making myself... We're making ourselves hungry, guys. This can only end in tears. Yep. This can only end in tears. Hydrate without me redeeming it? Oh, Pie, I'm so sorry. Just please go ahead and redeem. If I've like self-hydrated, you can still hydrate me more. Please do. After the shock, reassurance, and comfort, she's definitely gonna get chewed out for doing what she did. Well, yeah, her partner just basically watched her die. I love the idea of a French onion soup. It's like, it's onion and beef stock, which is delicious, but I can't taste it any good. What? Have you not had French onion soup? I love a good French onion soup, but it's got a lot of cheese in it, so... And butter. Can't eat raw onion, but give me a bloomin' onion. Oh, yeah, bloomin' onion or French fried onions. And I'd probably eat the whole thing. Hell yeah. Jamie Andoria, hello, welcome in. Appreciate you. I'm the same. I love a bloomin' onion. Oh, yeah. Those things are great. Megan is not a cactus. That's true. I need a lot of hydration. This one's for Pie. Tried a couple of different French onion soups, but it's not prepared the way my mind says it should be. Well, how do you think a French onion... It should be like the caramelized onions in a delicious broth, followed by a crunchy bread, crouton-y thing, followed by a smothering of cheese on top. That's how we do it. I'm gonna get switched over to writing mode here. Should be a more beefy broth with some taste of onions, but it never tastes like that. I mean, the onions are the star, my dude. He's gonna be like, thank God you're okay, but what the fuck? I mean, we all do stupid things when we're in love. Quoting Hercules, Disney's Hercules. Gotta get my chair in the right position here. K Eclipse More, thank you for the lurk. Enjoy. gotta get these words in. I gotta make these ponies do things. I wish FedEx would not try to deliver things and would just say, come pick it up. I understand that feeling. I've only ever gotten FedEx deliveries when they just leave it at my door. If they don't leave it at the door, we always have to chase them down. There's a whole story Ghost Pepper can tell you someday about the rug that we bought in Turkey and how much of a pain it was to get it delivered from FedEx. I can tell it at the break, maybe. It's so funny that instead of like man or person, you say pony in this world. So cray. Should do some work. But am I going to? Carly, you are on summer vacation. You should relax. That's my professional opinion. Have to have this music prepared by the start of the semester and at least a portion of my thesis written too. Fair. That's true. I guess you guys start earlier than we do. Ghost students don't come back until the beginning of September. Welcome back, Rai Rai. Became an uncle 30 minutes ago. Congrats, Rai Rai. That's awesome. This is going to be way longer than I thought because I'm already at 2,360 words and I'm still not done with the first scene. Okay, I finished the first scene. Oh boy. So now we are up to 2,751 words, which means I wrote about 1,600 in that sprint, because we had stopped at just shy of 1,100 essentially in the last sprint. And now we're done with the first scene. So I was hoping to write at least 2 scenes today. We'll see how it goes. I am hitting that save button. You should hit the save button as well. I'm gonna grab a chapter break to pop in here. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm going to write first pony cameo. Oh, I forgot to change our activity last time. My goodness. What are we doing? Let's cook some food. Why not? Let's hang out with one of our kitchen spirits. Let's do it. I don't think we've hung out with the bunny, like, at all. Editing chapter 1 and trying to add brief summaries of what the fuck is happening, and it's hard to explain enough without bogging down the story. I would say if you're having trouble slimming it down, you can actually pull out the summary, like go into another file and just tackle the summary and pare it down until on its own it feels like it reads the way you want it to. And then go back to your document and figure out how you want to put it in. Sometimes if something feels really complicated and trying to balance it against everything else feels really complicated, it's easier to just take it aside and treat it as its own thing and get it doing what you want it to do, and then figure out how to put it in with everything else, if that makes sense. I do that a lot. I sometimes will write something completely independently of the scene that I want to stick it into, because it's just easier sometimes to handle things in their smallest component pieces. I've been informed my nephew is named after their grandfathers, not Wolverine from the comics. I see. Oh, that's what you said when you said they were named after Wolverine. That's what you meant. I see. I'm overthinking for the one-shot tonight. My brain won't shut up about it. Listen, Blur. Take a break. Drink your favorite beverage. It's gonna go great. You're gonna have tons of fun. Remember, focus on the fun. If you have facilitated fun, you have done it properly. Gotta go herd cats. Good luck, sardonisms. I know you've got a lot of cats to herd. Just watched a video. It's very loosely based on Beethoven's Fifth. Honestly, a bit of a stretch if you ask me. I've never heard this before. The cat just told me that it's time for a nap. Carl, enjoy your nap. We love you. Thank you for hanging out. Google definitely says it's the 5th. I couldn't hear it, but then a guy explained it's in the flillibly flurns? Okay, that's not a real word. I'm assuming. You do a flipperly flurn just before you take the caniche and strain it through the trapnera. Yep, that's some Peter lore right there. Have literally never heard that Smoke on the Water is related to any Beethoven music. I might have to look into that after. Is that like Smurf? Yeah, in the pony world, in My Little Pony, it's every pony. And some pony. And that pony. Instead of, you know, like everyone. And I've already managed to get a silly Philly comment in there too. Instead of like silly girl, silly Philly. Horse puns! It's horse puns all the way down, you guys! I don't like celery for some reason. If there's a dish food with celery, like egg salad or potato salad, I won't eat it. I think that's fair. I have a kind of love-hate relationship with celery. I don't hate it, but there are times when I just am like, I'm gonna leave it out. Like, sometimes if a recipe is like, use celery, I'm like, nah, because celery is a pain in the butt to work with, and we never eat it in time for it to not go bad. So I'm like, I could do without. I could take it or leave it. Celery is weird. I saw it described recently as hairy water. Ooh, that is weird. Not inaccurate, but weird. Last night I wanted to try making a stock for some noodles. I started with beef stock cubes, added turmeric, paprika, garlic paste, some bay leaves, and all seasonings, and it was amazing. Tonight, I'm expanding the idea by adding some diced onion and carrot. Ooh, that'll be delicious, Peter. Delicious. Common Flower Girl, thank you so much for the lurk. Appreciate the heck out of you. I hope you've been well. This is my first week back after a bit of a hiatus to host my in-laws. And this is our first chatty stream today. Yesterday was just a lobby stream. So it's nice to get to talk to everybody. All words are real words. I don't think that's true, Peter, because then skibbity would have to be a real word, and it's not, and we're not going down that road. I overthink almost everything. Blur, listen, I live in that world. I get you. That's why I said have your favorite beverage and try not to think about it. Haunts! When I was kitchens learning how to dice celery changed my life. You're supposed to peel the veins. That does make sense, actually. That makes a lot of... That does feel like it would be life-changing, yes. That I can already see my eyes are being opened by that comment, for sure. That does make sense. Uh-oh? Question mark? I'm gonna pause the timer and go AFK to use the restroom and reheat my coffee and hope that everything's okay with Rai when I get back. Did something go terribly wrong? I'll be back to find out. Joe, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you dreamed of many shoop in your sleep. Electric shoop. I guess Tom is telling better because he's very peacefully resisted going into the carrier. Oh, is feeling better, I assume. He's very peacefully resisted going into the carrier with all his kitty strength. Just stood in the carrier and dared us to push him down enough to fit. Aww. Oh my goodness. Listen, sometimes we think we've typed something. Ugh. Do hot dogs dream of electric shoop? We can only hope to know. Alright, I need to look up a thing. I found it. Do hot dogs dream of electric toasters? Is a hot dog a taco? My god, we've had this conversation so many times. I read somewhere that since hot dogs are basically a meat mixture held together by a casing, if we eat a hot dog, wouldn't it technically make us people hot dogs? I mean... I believe that with hot dogs, it's usually, like, ground. The meat is usually, like, ground first. So I think in our natural state, we're not technically hot dogs. Salsa is salsa, ketchup is ketchup. Ketchup is a type of salsa, isn't it? Technically, in the most technical sense. I don't actually know if that's true. People are going to be pushing up their glasses and being like, actually, Megan, you're full of shit. And you know what? That might be true. I don't know. But I do think ketchup had roots in salsa. Ketchup is a tomato smoothie. It could technically also... Two things can be true. It could also maybe be a salsa. It's funny, though, because... ketchup, as we Americans think of ketchup, is very different than other cultures think of ketchup. So it depends on what ketchup we're talking about as well. Like, are we talking about, like, American ketchup? Or are we talking about, like, because in Mexico and, like, parts of the Caribbean, ketchup is a totally different thing. If you get run over by a steamroller, you become a minced hot dog. I don't know if that's true. Tomato ketchup is based off of mushroom ketchup. See, that's not what I've heard. But I guess I know more the British development of ketchup, and then I just kind of assumed that we brought it from over there, but maybe we didn't. Maybe we made our own ketchup that was different from British ketchup. Ketchup used to be very different. It didn't necessarily always have a tomato base. But ketchup is weird. The history of ketchup is weird. They just did a thing on Sorted, where they bought, like, a really old bottle of ketchup. I forget how old it was. It was from back before tomato ketchup had fully become a thing. And they actually opened it and ate it, which I think is super gross because it was old. It was a very old bottle of ketchup. And even though stuffed food seals, that doesn't necessarily mean you should still eat something that old. This was a pre-Heinz ketchup. It was brown and it had chunks in it. And they said it tasted okay, just kind of like dulled in flavor. But I wouldn't have eaten it. Although they also opened a rum cake that was like 60 years old and they had a nom on that. And they spat it out because it had gone raunchy. But you know, they've been doing this weird thing on Sorted lately where they keep trying to find really old food and then they actually eat it, and I think it's cool that they are doing that, but finding it, but also I don't think they should eat it. They also had a Mars bar from 1995 that one of the guys ate part of, and I don't think he should have done that either, but he did. I've read reports and things that when the chips are down and you need to survive, that there is a pork-like element to the human. So humans are said to taste like pork, yes. Did you ever hear the story of the guy who went into a pyramid? I think it was. And he was drinking something that he thought was ancient pyramid juice and thought he was getting mystic powers, but it turns out it was a broken cereal line. I did not hear that, but I wouldn't be shocked. You can eat everything at least once. Doesn't mean you should. Somewhere, there was a meme that someone shared with me one time that was a picture of a mushroom and it said, some mushrooms will fill, once you eat them, will fill you up for the rest of your life. There's a display in Iceland of the last McDonald's sold in Iceland, and it looks identical to the way it was when it was sold. I mean, it was probably preserved in some fashion, for sure. Cheers, Joe. Welcome to this weird-ass conversation. I'm about to go back into writing mode. Oh yeah, hang on. Pause. I gotta... boop. Light a man on fire and he'll be warm for the day. Light a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Very true. Peter, I really wish we could talk you out of eating lava. I feel like we've had this conversation before. You know what? People say that a lot, Peter, but I don't believe it. I have seen McDonald's food decay. I have seen it go rancid. I have seen it go rotten. I have known enough people who worked at fast food places who can confirm that fast food does go rancid. So I don't believe that that's true. It's probably been lacquered in some form or fashion for display. But people pick up rumors and say things and believe that it's true, even though in many cases it gets disproven. It would kill you to drink a spoon of lava, though. Also, you wouldn't be able to lift the lava with the spoon because it would melt the spoon. So... Alright, I'm gonna let the timer go. I've popped up the final sprint thing now. sardonisms, you are allowed to stop. What if the spoon was made of lava? Then you wouldn't be able to pick it up. Schrodinger's lava. Dear Lord. Alright, I'm not quite done yet, but we're getting close. I'm at 4,423 words, which is so long. This is so long, you guys. This is so flippin' long. My goodness. This fanfic is gonna be just a monster size. It is a delicious amount of words. I'm just worried about how long this thing is gonna be. I may have gone overboard. That amount of words you'd need to cook for 8 to 12 hours, low and slow. Listen. Mystery Mochi, hello, hello, welcome in. We're gonna be wrapping up here soon, but happy to have you. There's no such thing as going overboard unless you're in a cruise ship. Well, gee, and respectfully, ma'am, I feel like your current house is pretty landlocked. Well, gee, Peter, you do have me there. You do got me there, for sure. I do think I'm just about done with this scene, though. Thank goodness. The first scene was longer than I anticipated. But here we go. All right, I'm going to stop here at 4,751 words. I was hoping to get one small other scene into Act 1. But this is already... Technically, I should probably already break this down into 2 blog posts. This is quite long for a short for my blog. But there we go. We have written the first 4,751 words of the My Little Domerin fanfic. Is this longer than the Drag Race? Well, yeah. Yeah. For sure. Definitely. Listen, when I plan a story, I don't always know what my characters are gonna do with it. So here we are. But we've introduced Domerin Lorehooves, our main character. We've introduced Rose Draftmore, his princess that he protects, and a cryptic assignment that she has given him for the future. We have introduced Crescent, Domerin's boyfriend, who met him at a juice bar where there may have been a cameo from one of the submitted ponies from the community. And we've established who these two are, where they live, what they do. We've established that Domerin has an odd feeling that something might be on the horizon. And next chapter, we're going to blow it all up. We're going to blow it all up. We're going to shove a problem right into our main characters' faces. And it's going to be glorious. You are but the finger controller. The things just happen around you. Exactly. Got the first part of the sketch done! Now I have to do the second part, which won't take long. Heck yeah, Blur, good luck. Is a juice bar the same as a juice bar in the real world? This is a My Little Pony juice bar, so if there's alcohol there, we haven't acknowledged it. Because I heard Canada has a certain amount of establishments with the ladies called juice bars. I've not heard that. I mean, we do have a certain amount of establishments, but I've never heard them called juice bars. Stuck a comment in to remind me where I left off editing, and then I went back to drafting and skipped 4 days in like 3 paragraphs. Hey, as long as you are happy with how it's going, Sardinisms. Juice bar, I did say. There was a certain pony who might have a juice bar that was submitted by the community. I am 114 words shy of 110k. Damn, Sardinisms. You are killing it. Mystery Mochi, I hope you've been having a great day. And a great time since I saw you last. We have a whole conversation about eating lava that happened. Okay, I don't think I missed a ton during the sprint. I think mostly people talked about eating lava. And 10-month-old food? I don't know why you would pay $140 to eat 10-month-old food. But I'm happy for you? Question mark? I feel like that must have not been a great experience, but I'm glad for you. How am I today? It is a good day for me, Peter. I've been doing pretty good. We did have a small incident here in town. I think I mentioned this. Well, it was mentioned kind of in the Discord. We didn't get a chance to talk about it on stream. But Ghost Pepper's family was supposed to leave Sunday evening. They were doing an overnight flight to Toronto, and there was a small brush fire that started up behind the airport in the bush, of course, because it was a brush fire. And it very quickly caught and spread, and that can become a forest fire because we live in forest fire country. So it was very quickly jumped upon by the local fire department here. They got on top of that right away, but they had to close the airspace over the airport because they needed to bring in planes to drop fire retardant material. So the flight was canceled. Their flight was canceled. They had to stay an extra day. So my poor brother-in-law, the last time he tried to come out here, his flight to us was canceled. And so this time his flight to us was fine, but then his flight home was canceled, so he had to take an extra day off work. And it was a whole thing. But they got the fire under control very quickly. By 9 o'clock in the evening, I believe they had reclassified it as being held. Which, for those of you who don't know, any forest fire, is considered to be out of control until they are relatively sure that it won't spread anymore. Once they're relatively sure that a fire will no longer spread, it is considered being held. That is the status that it will have. And if you're looking at something like the BC Wildfires website, out of control fires are in red, and held fires or being held fires are yellow, usually, I believe, or orange in color. And so that means that the local fire crews have it under control. They don't think it's going to spread anymore unless there are like severe changes to conditions. And then it takes a couple of days for them to knock it down and put it out fully once they have it under control, especially depending on the size. So the size of this fire was only 5 hectares. That's very small. I believe the fire that we had 2 years ago was over 100, to put it in comparison. So it was a very small fire. They got it under control very fast. But the Pepper family was stuck in our area for an extra day. So that did happen, but Monday evening we were able to get them on their flight, and we did get confirmation that they returned home safely on Tuesday morning, and have all gotten back to their homes and are presumably still sleeping because they were up for a long time. But yeah, so we had a great time with them. We took them to a bunch of local activities. We even did a walking tour downtown and learned some things that we didn't know about our own town. We got to see some spaces in our own town that we had never seen before, so that was pretty cool. So it was a good week. But now I'm back, baby. This has not been my most productive day, but I'm still on track to hit 150. Heck yeah! I mean, if you're doing edits and drafting at the same time, you have to keep in mind that your word count is going to be down because some of your energy is going into changing words that already exist, or possibly even cutting words that you've put in. So, you know, it still counts as progress. It just won't have as high a word count. I realized I'm at the point where I can and should start skipping time. Fair. We exhausted the chaos out of ourselves and were resting during the sprint, recharging our chaos batteries. Fair. Peter, you have caused quite a lot of chaos in the last 24 hours, from what I understand, which is great. Keep it up. Until I get out the axe and edits, which is why I need to write faster. I mean, listen. You gotta cut words sometimes. I don't think we can eat fire. You can breathe fire, but you probably shouldn't eat it. You can eat fire, but only if you wash it down with some Dr. Pepper. I don't think that's true. We did have a great time. We did. I just felt really bad because my poor brother-in-law, every time he comes to visit, there's something with his flights, and I worry that we're going to be like, hey, come visit us, and he's going to be like, no, because then I can't get home. I have a thing where if anyone stays past the time they said they're going to leave, no matter the circumstances, I'm twitchy, and my eye gets all itchy. It was a little tough because me and Ghost definitely were at the point where we needed some downtime, but there was literally nothing they could do. Like, it was completely beyond their control circumstances, and we were glad that they were staying with us because they had a place to stay. They didn't have to worry about anything. I did have a hot moment where I was flashing back to the fire from 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, what if the fire spreads and it jumps the highway, and then they're staying with us, but we have to evacuate with them to a place, and it was a whole... There was never any danger of that happening because it was a very small fire, but my brain was like, oh my god, it's going to be just like the last time. It's going to get so big. But it didn't. Breathing is less exciting than eating? I don't know. You gotta breathe to live. Yeah, but they don't actually eat they don't actually, like, swallow the fire. They just kind of put it down their throat. I believe, if it's the one I'm thinking about. Yeah. I had a couple of hours sleep. It was so hot. I kept waking up. Peter, please get some rest. I want to swallow the fire for realsies. Do not recommend. It could burn a hole through you. Technically, the guy I learned this from didn't say your mouth can't be super dry. That's just my assumption. Yeah, I would assume, too, that you would have to have enough moisture content. I mean, I feel like when Peter said eat, he meant, like, swallow it down into his stomach. But that's for Peter to say, because he's the one who made the claim. I'm always very moist. Guys, I'm gonna give you an option. We've got 2 options here, because I'm gonna wrap up stream, because I gotta go eat. So, we have 2 options here for a raid. Ghost Pepper is currently streaming. He has started his stream schedule for the summer. He is not going to be doing a productivity stream. He is going to be doing a gaming stream. We can drop in on him, though, because he's my lovely husband. I will open the summer with a raid on Ghost Pepper, if that's what we vote for. Or we can go do a productivity or art stream like we usually would. Common Flower Girl is up and crafting, so we could go say hi to her. Also, somebody that we haven't gotten to raid because I haven't seen them on in a long time. Laura Bones is on, so we could pop over there. So I'm going to give you guys, like, 60 seconds to say something in chat, and if we get a consensus, or here, we can do poll. Where to raid? Ghost Pepper. I'm gonna give you a 2 minutes. In 2 minutes we're raiding, so get on that. We already have 9 votes for Ghost Pepper, so let me guess where we're gonna raid. Who's more likely to talk to us about eating fire? Ghost Pepper for sure. Although, Common Flower Girl probably would too. You know what you do with Bones? Make delicious stock. Just to clarify, Laura Bones is a writing streamer, so... they are streaming writing and reading. Just in case some of you think that that's a spicy raid. Genuine question, has anyone ever made stock from scratch? I have not. Ghost Pepper did once. It takes a long time, yo. You gotta boil that stuff for a long time. I'm gonna guess that y'all want to go say hi to Ghost Pepper. So, chat has spoken. We're gonna go say hey to Ghost Pepper, which is easy for me. He's looking at some weird ass map right now. But anyway, what else is new? Anyway, it's easy for me because my husband ain't gonna care if I raid and dip. So, just a couple of reminders, because I'm not going to be on camera or microphone tomorrow. Tomorrow will be another lobby stream. I won't be on camera or mic. It's going to be just the game and the timer. We're going to be doing 4 sprints again, because it worked really well yesterday. It was exactly the right amount of time. I will be hanging out in the chat, in text chatting with all of you. Joe contributed 4,002 channel points to ensuring that Ghost Pepper had 69 votes. Joe, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you for being who you are. Appreciate. So yeah, I won't be on camera or microphone tomorrow, but there will be a stream. It will be a lobby stream. So I will see you then. Next week's streams are a bit up in the air. I'm going to be having the usual grody issues to deal with, which I'm sure you guys are all familiar with by now. If you are a regular or semi-regular, you know that sometimes I feel like garbage and I can't stream for a week because lady parts. So that's going to happen sometime next week. I don't know if I'll be able to stream at all next week. If I do, it will be a lobby stream. There won't be any chatty streams next week. But the following week, let me look at a calendar. So that's next week, the week of the 14th, the week of the 21st. I will be back to 3 streams, one of them chatty. And we're probably going to continue this insane My Little Domerin thing that I'm apparently writing, which is already probably going to be like 1,000,000 words. That's where we are with that. So that's what's happening. Thank you all for hanging out. Let's get the raid started. You may not be on camera, Mike, but you'll be in our hearts. Peter, appreciate the heck out of you. Lovely stream. See you tomorrow. I'll drop in and send some flowers, chocolate, and hot water bottles for next week. Thank you so much, Peter. Pi, I have to raid. You need to do a 30-hour stream. Not happening. Lactose-free chocolate. Oh, Peter, you know me. I appreciate you. I do lactose. Guys, thank you all for hanging out with me. You're amazing. I love you so much. It's been a bit of a hectic week just with everything getting shuffled around on the whole Sunday, Monday front. But I'm so glad I get to hang out with you guys. I'm so glad to be back to a semi-regular schedule. And I'm so glad that we finally started this crazy fanfic because who knows where the hell it's going to go. Until I see you again, please take care of yourselves. Remember to eat, to sleep, to drink. To take your meds if you need to take your meds to get up and move around from time to time because this meat sack we're driving doesn't come with a maintenance manual, but it needs a lot of maintenance. I will see you all soon. Please take care of yourselves.